Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Adrenaline Motorbiker here. I'm out today on my new bike, which is a Lexmoto Assault. So this isn't a supermoto like my previous bike, the Adrenaline. This one's kind of how Lexmo describes it, is more of like a trail bike. So I'm actually out here today and trying it out on the trails, basically. So that's what happens when you turn it on, a bit of noise. I've got 18 miles on the clock, and it's already been tested. It's just been pouring down rain the last few days here, so basically all the trails, they are really sort of sloppy and muddy, which makes it a good day to test it, really, to see how it handles. And so far, if you're new to, say, off-road riding, I think I would recommend this over the Adrenaline, to be honest. I know you have Spicy online. He'll say, oh, get the Adrenaline, because it's a bit better. It's faster, yeah, the Adrenaline's faster. But if you want to get some off-road experience, and you're a full beginner, and you don't know what you're doing really, this is a good option, because you can get both feet flat on the ground a lot easier than you would on the Adrenaline, because it's a bit taller. This is the new bike as well, so it's been updated since the previous model. It's got new suspension, it's got a new swing arm, it's got new handlebars, it's got new... what else has it got? It's got new speedo. The speedo is now digital instead of analog, and to be honest, I think it looks a lot better than it used to look, because previously these bars, they used to be silver, and I think it used to look a bit tacky, and the shocks here, they seem to look a lot longer. Like, you see where my finger is in line with my finger, that's how long they looked before. So it looks a bit better. And of course the swing arm now, the swing arm's not like two poles anymore, it's actually like a bar. So it's more traditional. Both the Venom and the Adrenaline, and even the YBR / Aspire, whatever, they all have that. And it's a lot easier to work with. It just looks better. It does look better. So far I'm finding on the trail, the traction is actually not bad. The rear wheel does slip out in the wet as you're going along, but if you get used to it, you can handle the bike very well. And as you can see, I have gone through some pretty muddy bits. It's already, for 17 miles on the bike, I've already got quite a fair bit of dirt on it. This trail, I used to ride it all the time with my Adrenaline, so I know the difficulty of it. It's not the hardest trail, it's just one of my favourite ones in Surrey Hills. So you have a nice view, like when you come down here. Anyway, I'm going to be looking at getting a camcorder of some sort. I can't remember what people use, I think it's like Drift or GoPro or something. Just so you can see some of these lanes. And then possibly, for anybody who's living around London area, if you've got a 125 and you want to come and test it out, it doesn't actually have to be a 125, it can be anything. But if you want to come out and do some off-road riding, I might see if we can put a group together so that people can come and have a go and you're not going to be alone. Might be a good idea. But anyway, for now I'm just going to end this part of the video, and then I'm going to show you more of the bike and my first impressions of it. Bear in mind I got it today. It's got 18 miles on it. It's got 18 miles on it, and 1.5 miles is off-road riding. So it's a good first impressions. I've got the on-road and the off-road. Alright, let's take a look at the bike. So my first impression of the Lexmoto Assault is that it looks a lot better than it used to look. I mean, if you look at that bike now, I know it's one of the cheaper ones in the range, but it doesn't look as tacky as the Venom. I mean, I've had a Venom. the Venom feels a bit kind of rough. A bit, well, you know, with the gearbox, it's kind of really clunky. And to be honest, this one's gearbox is also a bit clunky. It's not the easiest to get into neutral, I've found out already. But is it a game changer? Would I say no to it? No. I think it's something you can live with. Especially if you're just learning and you want a cheap bike. I mean, this is a cheap bike. I think it cost me, on the road price, 1,550. And to be honest, it's a good price. It's really cheap. I think when I had the Adrenaline, I paid at least another £500. And I don't see £500 extras worth of bike, to be honest, on the Adrenaline. You have the better top speed on the Adrenaline for sure. I think this bike feels down on power compared to both the Venom / Viper and Adrenaline. I think this one will probably top out about 60 miles an hour. Although I've not got it there yet, so I can't say for 100% sure. I thought I'd be more bothered about the whole top speed thing. I thought what I usually like to have is something that can reach 70 or like 68 or something, but I don't know. Because this bike's a trail bike, well, that's how Lexmoto said it is. I'm kind of happy to use it as a trail bike. But yeah, let's take a look at things. So you got the integrated indicators, which I've seen on some online videos. They don't show you those, so let's take a look. Because look, this button here is the hazard lights. So if you want to see how the indicators work, you see, I find them kind of dim. And let's pretend you're a car and you're over this way and you're looking across. Can you really see any indication? Because from here I can't see anything like that. I can't see any indication whatsoever. I think because if you're side on and if you are turning right and somebody is here, they might just think you're stopped or something if they can't see those lights. So I'd say the integrated indicators, whilst they're a good idea, I think there should probably be like another 2 strips or something here on the side so people can really see the indicators. Because that is just it's a bit woeful, isn't it? Headlamp, I've not really got a chance to test it yet, because I haven't been in the dark. Literally first day today. So far when I've been on board riding it, I can get both my feet down. It's a lot shorter than I was expecting. I feel like the foot peg, it could use a bit of extra length, but that's just for my own comfort though. The foot peg feels kind of short. I'm not one of these people that loves a short lever or anything like that. I like it a bit longer. Let's have a look what else. So far I'm finding the handling off-road is easy to sort of get used to. It's inspiring actually. It seems to be a decent bike for taking out on the trails like today. The tachometer or speedo, it's digital. So yeah, it's just all the basic stuff. You have a gear indicator, your miles per hour, rev counter, fuel gauge. And then there's all the usual switches, kill switch, starter, high beam, low beam, indicators. You got hazards, but yeah, it's a weird switch to hazards, as other people have mentioned before. I did check the bike for a toolkit. Unless I've not spotted it, it didn't come with one. What else can I say? It does feel down on power, but I don't know, are you really how often are you gonna be doing 70 miles an hour? To get to most of these trails, they're usually like 60 mile per hour roads anyway. I mean, I'm not too bothered. Not planning anything too crazy on this thing. One good thing I do like actually, the brakes. The brakes actually feel pretty good. Bearing in mind they're new and they kind of need breaking in, or bedding in. The brakes, they feel kind of decent. So I think it's a 3-pot caliper, and the disc, it's not a huge disc, but it's quite big, but it does feel quite good. And then let's check out the rear anyway. The foot brake it's not too bad. The worst bike which I've had from Lexmoto for braking is the Venom, by far. This one's gearbox is clunky like the Venom's, but it's manageable. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I mean, I can live with that. It's not gonna affect much. This bike comes with a Kickstarter as well, so you can kick it if you want, if you're low on battery. The one thing which I've never liked about this bike in particular, the front forks. Whilst they're a good size, I feel like I prefer bigger forks. I like a bigger. I mean, I wish it was like this size all the way, and then maybe a bit bigger on the bottom. So like same design, or maybe even upside down. I don't know. But yeah, the forks, they just feel kind of small and flimsy in a way. Something else that no one has tested, which I noticed, I think, the horn. The horn seems to be alright. It's quite loud. It's punchy. Doesn't sound a bit awkward or anything like that. The whole design on this bike, like including the front mudguard, I wasn't sure about at first. I just thought it didn't look good. But that was before the update. So since the updates come in, the way the colours are now, with the black bars, and I think this used to be just like a matte black, and now it's like carbon effect, which I like actually. It seems to be just better overall. And like I said, the rear suspension here, they're calling it piggyback suspension, and so far off-road, I like the suspension. It seems to be a lot better than the Lexmoto Venom when I had that. If I took the Venom off-road, it felt a bit more horrible, but like this one actually feels like it absorbs the trail in a good way. And yeah, I really appreciate that because it keeps me comfortable, keeps me inspired to keep going, keeps me confident. I mean, look at where I parked the bike. It's like on a dirt track. This is the hill going down. It's not steep hill, but it's still hill. But I mean, I had to go up a little mound to get it there. Come down this really sloppy hill up there. The dirt is just unreal today. It's so slippy. But yeah, do you know what? I'm really quite impressed actually for two reasons. One, the price point, because it's so low, 1,550. I think that some people, you can even get the what do they call it, finance, for probably like 30 quid or something a month, which is nothing. That is so cheap. So if you're like a new rider, you can't afford the outright price. I bought this outright, so but if you can't afford to buy it outright from the get-go, the finance on these things is actually really reasonable. The fuel cap, it's a pretty simple design. It's got inside, I was showing this just before I set off. You see these like circles there? They are breather pipe, like breather holes. So what it does is, when I had the adrenaline, I had some serious fuel leak problems. Because the fuel would kind of come out and then just go all through the airbox and just cause havoc. And it actually makes you break down, the adrenaline. I think this is why they pulled the adrenaline off the list. I didn't see the adrenaline when I went to take a look at what bikes they have nowadays. Because I've been a year and a half without riding, basically. Since I had an accident, I crashed my adrenaline into the back of a Mercedes and broke my arm. But I'm back on the road now. But yeah, I've been off for a year and a half. But I can still remember those bikes pretty well. I mean, the adrenaline I had, it was a 2017. This is the 2019 Lexmoto Assault. And some dealers, they're also doing little packages with these bikes actually. They're throwing in the Lextech alarm system. I didn't get it on this bike. To be honest, I'm not really interested in the alarm system. But for new riders, it's just another thing to consider. Maybe it'll drop your insurance a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's about as much as I can say about it right now. So at the moment I'm just test riding it out. I still haven't crashed, and I'm finding it easy going compared to what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a lot more bouncy. I was expecting the suspension to be too firm, but so far it's been alright. So I'm going to go a bit further down the road, make another video, and then tell you how it went. So thank you. Okay guys, so this bit looks pretty impossible. It doesn't look like much, but the little slope on the left is probably like a foot high, and then all that dirt and muck. Yeah. But the way I've just come, I had to drop down this ledge, so I've got no choice but to carry on through there. Something I wanted to say is the exhaust actually sounds good on this bike. It just sounds like a regular 125, doesn't make it sound kind of like tinny or anything. The mirrors are actually okay, they're decent. What else was I gonna say? There was another thing, but I've completely forgotten. But yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to go through this mud, so I'm gonna make a choice. I either go up the path on the left, or I just go straight through the dirt. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if you guys can see, but way down in the distance there, it's like the promised land. Just behind the second puddle up there. It looks like a dry ground again, maybe. But yeah. Also, I noticed the light is starting to go, so it's getting darker. So I kind of need to get through this quick. But yeah, hopefully I'm not going to crash. But yeah, see what happens by the time I get to the other side. But for now, I'll let you guys listen to how the bike sounds if you want to hear. So that's how it starts up. It starts up first time off the starter. That's how it sounds. So it's not too bad. Anyway, let's crack on. Hopefully I survive. Bro, fuck me, man. This path is so impossible, man. But the way back, I had to like drop down this ledge. Yeah, fucking hell, man. Gotta go through this shit. And I noticed like up ahead there's an even more nasty puddle just around the corner there. It's fucking deep looking. It's like one of these ones here, but like bigger, like double. Ah! 18 miles. And I'm taking the bike through this shit. Brand new. It's a good way to not care about it anymore. Bro, this was a fucking bad idea. Look at this. And just to get some perspective of how fucking deep that shit is. I don't know. Can you see the... Oh, fucking hell. My foot just went in there, man. Sinks right down, man. Oh my goodness. I'm glad I didn't go along the path at the top though. Fuck. Do you know what? They actually, from way back up there, the path looked better than this. But this is fucked up. And it looks like I can't turn around really. That doesn't look so bad in the mirror, but it's fucking... Look how it sinks your foot. So what do? Go through? Oh, my foot's gonna get so wet, I can tell. I'm gonna have my foot's going under. Shit, man. I'm gonna have to check the map and then see how much more I've got to go, because I've forgotten how long this lane is. Damn. Okay guys, so I'm literally at a really nasty part of the green lane. There's quite a lot of water here. Dirt is... my foot went under like a couple times. So this is a real good test for this bike to see how it reacts to these kind of situations. I'm hoping that's not too deep right there. It could be really deep. I've got no idea. But yeah, I'm going through. I just went through for some pretty treacherous stuff behind as well, but it's not as bad as this. I'm just debating, do you go through the middle or do you go through the side? I don't know. I'm thinking I'm probably on the wrong side because this side looks way deeper than that side. But yeah, I'm gonna go through it and then please hopefully make it to the other side. It's a long way to go to be dry without tipping left. Oh my god. Here we go. I'm gonna do it. Okay guys, so I made it through the puddle and fortunately I didn't go under. But yeah, look at the scale of the dirt all in this exhaust and all over everything. I think I went under all the way up to the exhaust pipe actually. You can see where the watermark is. Oh my goodness. I was just explaining to a couple of hikers here. They said, oh, it's a new bike, is it? It's such a shame that you'll be taking it through here. And I told them, yeah, it is a shame, but the thing is, if you get a new bike and you start cleaning it and trying to keep it perfect and, you know, really like taking good care of it and everything, when the time comes, when you get your first scratch on the thing, you get so disappointed. And then it's just like heartbreaking. Whereas I'm never going to know what that's like. Because I've taken the bike straight out onto here, I'm never going to know what it's like to have the brand new sort of spanking bike here. Well, I mean, I did for about half an hour, but now it's mega. It's mega bad. Megalodon bad. But yeah, do you know what? I had a great time. But the thing is, this path over here was ridiculous. I went through that ditch there. I'm just going to zoom in so I don't have to walk back up to it. But I went through the deep side as well. And on the deep side there was a couple of people watching. I went through this side here. And yeah, it's real deep. And this mud is just, it's like a paste. It's horrible. It's horrible. But yeah, it is what it is. Get the countryside views. To be honest, I'm hoping that the rest of the trail is going to be nice and dry. But maybe I'm just kidding myself, eh? But yeah, anyway, I'm going to crack on and see if I can carry on. But to be honest, so far, it handled itself really well through that muddy patch. So I'm pleased with that, really pleased with that. It's brilliant. It's really good. Not bad for 18 miles. Already taken on its first obstacle. Anyway, let's go onwards and hopefully I'll be out of the trail. Since this is kind of like a review and a green laning video, it's a Lexmoto Assault green laning video then. I'm gonna conclude it when I get out of the green lane to see if I survived. Alright, let's keep going. I think I'm gonna try and get to like a power spray though later, because although it is dirty, you can spray it off. It's gonna help corrosion and things to go, so it's gonna be worthwhile to give it a quick power spray somewhere. So hoping to get around to that later. Anyway, for now I'm going, so hopefully I'll catch you at the end of this green lane. Guys, I've got to be honest, when I came down here with the adrenaline, I was having a much more difficult time than I was coming down here on this bike, especially this bit with all the rocks. For some reason I can get more speed on this bike, and I feel like I've got way more control than I ever did on the adrenaline. I'm just being honest. The adrenaline, it felt just kind of like, I don't know, it felt more difficult to traverse the, especially this area with all the hard rocks. But on this bike, I'm coming down here doing 20, 25, 30, and that's faster than I did on the adrenaline. I think even by maybe 10 miles an hour, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, the last time I came down I was only doing 20, but I mean, these bikes, they're not made for this, like, properly. They're not properly made, they're not enduro. So, I mean, like, the trail, I mean, this bike is actually, as Lexmoto said, it's a decent trail bike. That's really surprising. I am really surprised. I'm really surprised by that. It's good. Still got those nice views. I think I'm coming up to the end of the trail, and then I'm going to scoot home. Pretty sure there's a lot of rocks. If I remember correctly, there's a lot of rocks. And yeah. And another thing, like, as I'm going up the trail this time, on the adrenaline, I kind of used to get forced into, like, going certain ways. With this bike, I've got more control, so I can, like, weave around, and it's just easier at picking a route, and you know, like, maintaining control, maintaining a bit of speed, and to be honest, the confidence, you get more confidence than you do on the adrenaline by a long way. I don't know, that's just my first impressions, man. That's as honest as I can be. I did love the adrenaline, it's faster, and it does feel great to ride around on. I think it felt better, the adrenaline feels better on the road than this does. But off the road, surprisingly, this feels better. So, sorry people like spicy, but I disagree. I think this is a better bike off-road. It just feels better. But maybe it comes down to personal preference. And, I don't know, I just feel more control on here. So, I mean, that counts for something, it's a handling thing. And I did get told the swing arm is a bit longer on this bike than on the previous one. So, I wonder if that's got anything to do with the handling. Bit longer wheelbase maybe, I don't know, but yeah, because they were saying on the corners, on the previous Assault, on the corners they used to do a bit of crabbing, so I think that's kind of like juttering as you go around the corner, whereas now it's supposed to be smoother ride, and to be honest, I feel it out here. I do feel it. It's a good ride, it's a good bike, and it's handling all this stuff very, very well. Much better than the Venom, much better, maybe like 10-15% better than the Adrenaline. That's just my opinion, for anyone who cares about that. Anyway, I keep saying I'm going to message you at the end, but if I do find more things to talk about, then I will bring it up on the journey, because this is all kind of things that people want to know. So, especially if you're into, or looking into doing something like this. Oh, and by the way, my height and weight, I'm about 13 stone, and I'm 5'8", and I can get my feet on the floor. So if that gives any perspective, it feels like if you're any taller than me, it'll be a bit cramped to sit on the bike actually. But you know, I think the average person's probably like my height. So if you're a shorter rider, it's a good thing basically. So it gives you access to all this kind of stuff. Anyway, let's go onwards, and then if I find something new, I will stop and I will tell you guys about it. And I really apologize that you didn't get to see any of the really nice tasty bits back there, me going through the big puddles and stuff. But in the future I will get some kind of device, but I don't know how long that's going to take for me to get that. But yeah, I would love to do some recordings. And apologies actually for those early videos, because I did buy... I know this is a Chinese bike, but I bought a Chinese like style GoPro, and the footage from that is so terrible. I mean, like, it's kind of like all the noise as well. The audio is like, it's like overbearing. Oh my goodness. And something's going on with the exposure. It's just a terrible, terrible, terrible GoPro. I did sell that to a Canadian mountain climber who was just passing through. For like a tenner. I think I bought it for like 20 quid. Brand new. But yeah, I won't be making that mistake again, so hopefully I'll get something decent quality. Anyway, let's carry on and see where this goes next. Thank you. Okay guys, and that comes to the end of the green lane. There's a road just here, and that's it for the day for me. I'm gonna go back and maybe try and clean that. I don't know. There's a lot of muck on here, especially the rear wheel. It's gonna be not very good on the road, I think. Literally, as I came up here, there's a bit of mud. You can see here, I was like, my wheel was spinning because it's so full of mud. So it's like doing a burnout basically, and like kicking the mud back. So I went up and then around, and I just come back down. And yeah, I end up here. But yeah, overall, for off-road riding, I would give it a really good score. If I was to give it a score, out of the Lexmoto selection of bikes, I'd give this one a 9. And to be honest, I can't even think why I'd make it lose a point. Maybe just the rear wheel. But that could be changed with the rear tire even. Maybe that could be changed with a more knobbly sort of tire. And this is the tire that it comes with. I've been told that it's like a soft compound, and that it's grippy, but I don't know. It's Chinese, isn't it? Usually I'm going for the Michelin. These are called CST tires. So you can just make it out there. CST. Oh my god, got mud everywhere. But yeah, anyway, let's go. Time to go back home, get this thing cleaned up, and then just chill out. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope that this video was good, and that it provides some insight into what I think about this bike. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. When you're riding along, your legs down here, it's got better sort of like wind protection because of the way the tank's shaped. Better wind protection by far than the Adrenaline and the Viper and the Venom. So I've noticed that as I'm riding along, there's less wind blast on your legs, which is good if you're going on a journey. But yeah, if you have any questions about this bike that you want me to answer, or I'll give it a try. But I'm still new to this bike as well, but I will give it a try if you ask me. Other than that, I don't know what to say. It's just been a good ride, and yeah, hopefully when the ground's a bit better, we can do a few more. Some people up there, eh? It's kind of creepy when you bump into people out here. This guy's got a tent. I don't know what he's doing. Obviously camping, but I think it's illegal to just set up a camp anywhere. You have to be at a campsite, or maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But yeah, overall, 9 out of 10 for me, this off-roading, so on this bike. So yeah, just drop a comment or a like or subscribe, or just send me a message or something if you want to know more. But yeah, other than that, thank you for watching. I hope it was worth a bit of time. Cheers, guys. Oh yeah, guys, one final thing, which is worth saying actually on this kind of a trail. I didn't crash once. I didn't come off the bike once. I felt comfortable the entire way through. I just thought it's worth saying. I didn't crash. It's always nice when you get through and you're unscathed. So I don't think I've ever crashed on a green lane, and I've done a whole ton of them. So I like keeping that sort of track record. But yeah, anyway guys, just thought it's worth mentioning. That's how easy it is on this bike to do the green lane. But yeah, thank you very much. Catch you later. And it's clean again. Look at it, spotless. You never know what happened to it. Anyway guys, thanks for watching.